Hey, welcome back. I'm here with PJ Sheridan of the Bayer company. What about the coding technology? Why is Bayer making that so important?
Right. Well, I'm glad you asked. It's extremely important that patients get accurate blood glucose values so they can better manage their diabetes. And studies show that no coding technology is a difference between accuracy every time and potentially inaccurate readings due to miscoding.
So, actually, I use one of these meters up here, and you have to set the code. And one time I've been testing for a week, and I looked, and the code was completely different from what it was supposed to be. And I asked the company, well, has my reading been too high or too low? And they couldn't answer. But anyway, what's the deal with that?
Right.
Why is it such a problem to not have the code on the right space?
Well, it's extremely important to properly code. Studies show that if you're using improper glucose values, it can pose a health risk.
And that, if you take the wrong amount of insulin, can be very dangerous.
That's right. Another study showed that with improperly coded meters, your probability of misdosing plus or minus 2 units of insulin can be as high as 50%.
Wow.
I'm super excited to show you our new Contour. It's the latest no coding technology from Bayer. It's super easy to use for your patients. They simply insert a test strip and it automatically codes itself and it's ready to go. Then when a sample of blood is applied to the test strip,
So you have fake blood, basically?
Yep, using fake blood here.
Okay.
It uses sip-in technology, sip-in sampling, to take your sample and displays results in 5 seconds.
It hardly took any in.
That's right, it takes 0.6 microliters, so a tiny, tiny sample size. Way more than I actually put on my finger there. So.
Okay.
It also
what are some of the patient-friendly features of this meter?
I'm glad you asked. Actually, first and foremost is the no coding technology, which makes it very easy for them to use. Secondly, as you can see, it has a very large display, so it makes it very easy to read. It has easy to use pre and post meal markers, which are an option for those patients who choose to use that. And it's loaded with other automatic features as well.
So some of the automatic features are the markers for the pre and post meal?
Well, that's an optional patient feature where they can actually mark that themselves. But some of the automatic features I'm speaking of are automatic hematocrit adjustment, automatic temperature control, automatic underfill detection, and of course the automatic coding is obviously the biggest.
So behind the scenes, something patients don't even have to think about.
That's right. It has a very, very large memory, so your patients can easily review their results.
How large?
How large? Actually, 480 tests.
480? That's
right.
Are people, you used to go to the doctor's office and they download the readings for the doctor to see. Are people using this meter for that?
Absolutely. I'm glad you asked that as well. It's very easily downloaded in your doctor's office. And we have a fantastic software program that allows your doctor to see many, many different views to help you manage your diabetes better.
Okay. That's great. I like the size. It's nice and small.
Yeah.
It's light.
Very sleek design.
Okay. So anything else you want to tell us about this meter before we go on to the next one?
Again, I can show you how to use the pre and post meal markers if you'd like to see that. So, we can very easily turn on the pre and post meal markers by simply holding down the M button or the power button. And I'm just going to scroll to the...
M is for memory or meal or?
Well, that's right. Actually, if you want to access your memory, hit M. But it's also how you turn the meter on to go into your setup mode.
Okay.
So I'm going to simply go in and turn this on real quick.
You're doing great.
Thanks. All right, we're going to toggle that to where it says on. So now our pre and post meal markers are turned on.
Okay.
Okay. Now again, simply insert a test strip. The meter is going to turn itself on automatically and be ready for a drop of blood. So again, using our control solution here.
Normally you'd lance your finger and...
That's right, but we're using demonstration solution here just because I don't want to bleed on you.
Right.
So simply sips it in. Again, displays the results in 5 seconds. And there we have it. And then it brings up these icons to the side.
Okay.
The uneaten apple is for a pre-meal test. You can see the apple core is for a post-meal test. I'm simply going to toggle up to highlight the uneaten apple and hit M to accept it, and it's now stored as a pre-meal test. And you may notice that it brings up a little alarm clock. That also is an optional reminder to help you remember to test after you've eaten, which is a very neat feature.
Can you also use it as an alarm clock for like in the morning when it's time to test?
Well, actually, no. This is set just simply for
post-meal.
Yeah, post-meal. Just help you remember to test after you've eaten. So.
Okay.
Because I don't know about you, but when I'm done eating, I get the food coma set in, and I can't remember anything. So.
And I know we've been writing for years that the best time to test is after you eat, because you want to know how high it's going. For years, people just tested fasting or first thing in the morning. They didn't realize their blood sugar was like doing these big
Absolutely,
arcs.
absolutely. It gives you a better view of the entire picture of how your body is processing your glucose.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, that's great.
And next we have our new Breeze 2 meter, and this is unique from any other meter on the market because it uses an easy-to-handle 10-test disc that requires no strip handling. When your patients want to test, they simply pull down on the handle, push back up, the strip's exposed, and you're ready to test. Again, using our demonstration solution, I'm going to do a sample. It has a tiny sample size of one microliter, and it displays results in 5 seconds.
And this has the strips on the wheel like this here.
That's right. And again, it has a very large display, makes it very easy to use. And when you're done testing, you simply press this button, and gravity makes the strip fall right out. See how I didn't even have to handle this strip at all?
You don't have to test this.
That's right. All I have to do is every 10 tests, simply insert a new disc. Just drop this disc in with the bumpy ridges facing up. Automatic coating technology does the rest for us, and we're ready to go.
So you don't have to lug the vial around.
No, it's fantastic. It can be very discreet for those people who are worried about being overt with their testing. You can simply hold it underneath your desk. Again, push-pull operations, and you're ready to go.
And then drop it into the trash can.
That's right.
So what patient-friendly features does the Breeze have?
Well, first of all, like I mentioned, it has a very large display, which is very nice. As I open up this door, you can see it has single-function buttons, which makes it very easy to navigate to your menu.
Can you see that, Sean?
See that?
Okay.
And it also, again, has the easy-to-handle 10-test disc with no strip handling, automatic coding. It has a very large memory with 420 tests. So, and it also has, excuse me, I'm blanking out here.
Does it download too?
It does download. Yes,
Okay.
thank you very much.
Okay.
It downloads, and again, gives your doctor a real good overall view of how you're doing with your sugars. So.
Does it have the other adjustments as the contour, like the hematocrit and the?
While it does not have the automatic hematocrit adjustment, it does have extremely wide hematocrit range.
Okay.
And it is actually endorsed as the ease of use commendation by the Arthritis Foundation. The Breeze meter was the first one to have, and now the new Breeze 2 also has that for its no strip handling.
Arthritis, so it's for people that have limited stiff fingers.
It's an excellent meter for people with dexterity issues such as neuropathy, arthritis, Parkinsonian tremor, whatever, because you don't have to handle those test strips. Imagine, even with any meter, it's hard to even get your strips out of the vial. So it really gives them a freedom of not handling that strip. However, it helps many demographics. People who are on the go, they don't have to worry about carrying a separate vial of strips. People who work with their hands a lot, like construction workers who may have, a little bit harder time handling small objects. And a lot of parents really love their children with diabetes to take this to school with them because it's so discreet, and they don't have to worry about losing a whole vial of strips if something might happen.
That's a good point. Yeah. Hey, PJ, I wanted to ask you, tell me again about the post-meal alarm. I haven't seen that in any other meter.
Great, well I'm glad you asked. It's actually a fantastic feature. It helps you remember to test after you've eaten. You have an option to set the alarm. When you set the alarm, it'll go off 2.5 hours after you set, therefore reminding you to test and get a better view of how your body is absorbing your glucose.
I like that. I like being reminded because testing after meals is so important. Well, PJ, this is great. Thanks for coming over to our booth.
Thanks so much for having me, Scott.
Showing us all these great products.
Appreciate it.